Thank you for tuning in. This is Shikama Live from Blog TV. Your host, Kevin Cardinale. Today I'm going to go over President Barack Obama's economic speech at Georgetown University. I've written a blog about it already. I've entitled it Obama's Economic Address at Georgetown University. Heavy on rhetoric, light on substance. This is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. All right, and let's get down to it. In the end, the crux of his speech centered around one word: government, government, government. Of course, he promises hope for the economic future, investment in our education, getting green jobs, free health care for everyone, and university tuition relief, which was met with thunderous applause at the university. The Constitution is clearly dead in the water. Due to the actions the Congress has recently taken, Obama assumed in his speech that government should be the ultimate authority for the private sector. Many times he alluded to the totally assumed fact that government should be the ultimate authority when it comes to determining fair wages, bank lending, lines of credit, investment for renewable resources. At no point did he ever mention that he would be taking a back seat and applauding the private sector for taking initiative in these subjects without government intervention. On entitlements, the largest expenditure, admittedly, in the government budgeting, he proposed entitlement reform, supposedly. But then he turned around and pushed for universal health care reform, not real entitlement reform. In fact, he was so dastardly that he said he would push for universal socialized health care reform this very year. It's already April. He better get cracking. On financial planning, again, he totally assumed that government should oversee retirement. I am not making this up. On military spending, he went off on a tangent about a suggestion made about military overspending. He then went into rhetoric about how we have spent so much in military spending and are yet no closer to being safer. However, he did not mention removing troops from any foreign soil, the single most largest expenditure in the military spending. At one point, Obama quotes the scripture of the wise man that built his house on rock instead of sand. But then he equates it to complete government oversight, trouncing the Constitution in the meantime. He said it only to put forth the idea that government will never again allow this crisis to happen. This completely ignores the business cycle. And listen to those Keynesian again. In fact, economists have stated, who are not Keynesian whack jobs, that there never was a crisis. Corporate bailout of Wall Street commercial banks is not a proper indicator of a nationwide economic crisis. Housing or mortgage rate adjustments for individuals who were over leveraged is not a proper indicator of nationwide economic crisis. Just because somebody comes on the news and said that there is an economic crisis does not mean that there is an economic crisis. There has to be an economic crisis, and somebody on the news would not be the need to tell you that there is one. But we all bought into the fear that the news was proposing. And I believe it was a conspiracy theory to begin with, that they were in on it all along. There was no economic crisis, but they wanted to push forward this introducing 10 trillion extra dollars into the economy, and we not say anything. But the final straw was when he was again stepping all over the Constitution and taking the lead from Congress. Recent bill passage, which specifically taxed Wall Street executives who took bailout money at 95% on their bonuses, in direct contravention of the Constitution. I mean, it says it right in the Constitution. Thou shalt not pass taxes targeting specific people. Obama said, we will implement rules that make sure you get paid the correct amount for work that you have done. Meaning you should not be overpaid for work that you do not do, supposedly. Since when did the government dictate salaries? This Congress is out of control, and this presidency is not far behind it. Bush laid the foundation for this debacle. We're in a crisis, all right. A crisis of the Constitution going under and government taking over all of our civil liberties. It won't be long now that the Gestapo will be goose-stepping down the street demanding to see how much you make and how long you worked. It won't be long now that you'll receive your weekly stipend from the government, and the rest will be set aside for retirement and non-existent Social Security and Medicare. It won't be long now that the government will seize your bank and tell them they are paying their salespeople too much in commission checks, and that they are outselling their nearest competitor. It won't be long now that the police will knock on your door and demand to see your guns and ransack your house for contraband. They already do that to poor black people, I know. I'm just kidding about that. But it might happen to white people. Once again, this has been the economic address of President Barack Obama at Georgetown University. This is Kevin Cardinale out. Thank you.